What's good, y'all? What's up, Wizards fans? I'm hyped right now. The season has just started. Well, our season hasn't started yet, but NBA has officially started tonight. Celtics and Sixers are playing right now, but the big thing I want to talk about, of course, is my Washington Wizards. You see the GOAT right there behind me, the GOAT, the future MVP, John Wall. So I don't know if he's going to win MVP this year, but I just want to talk about my analysis for the season or a preview or really a prediction or kind of, what I think is going to happen this season. Are we going to win 50 games or are we going to be over or under 50? There's just a lot to talk about my Wiz kids, how we're going to mesh and gel. We have some new guys, Dwight Howard, Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, Troy Brown, the rookie. There's just a lot going on with my team. A lot happened in this offseason. I think for the most part it was a good offseason. Ernie Grunfeld actually did a decent job. He just got rid of Jody Meeks yesterday. I think that was a good decision. We gave up a second-round pick and cash, which I thought was weird, but people are saying it cleared up cap spaces, which is exactly what we need is cap space. And then we got some big decisions coming up next year with Kelly Oubre's deal. Are we going to keep him or is he going to walk? So, but to focus on this year, I think this is the best roster that we've had in a long time, probably since the Gilbert, Anton, Jamison, Caron Butler, Deshaun Stevenson days. I'll even throw Brendan Haywood in there a little bit. But this team, man, this roster, like the Wizards are the mystery team of the season. They are a team that can go deep in the playoffs, or if the chemistry is bad, they can just flop right out of the first round. So it's either first round or they can really go to the Eastern Conference Finals and compete with the Celtics. Or, it depends on seeding. They can end up playing, like the Pacers in the first round or something like that, or the Bucks, and make it to the second round. So the Wizards are just a question mark mystery team. That's the thing that I hate about my team is just you just don't know which John and Brad is going to show up each night, or which Otto, or which bench. Is the bench going to do something tonight? Is Markieff going to decide to play basketball tonight? You just don't know what's going to happen. Is Dwight Howard, this is just a huge, huge mystery. Is Dwight Howard going to mess with John and Brad? Or even Otto, Kelly Oubre, Markieff, is he going to mesh well with those guys on and off the court, in the locker room? Is it going to work? Jeff Green, Austin Rivers, we got a lot of personalities on this team. So, I mean, it's a lot for Scott Brooks to handle. Scott Brooks has handled, a Russell Westbrook type personality and a Kevin Durant personality. So, I mean, he's got to step up and step to the plate. This is a big year for Scott Brooks. If it looks bad and we end up 41-41 or even 43-39 like we were last year, he might be on a hot seat. Kelly Oubre doesn't progress and get better, might be on a hot seat. You never know. We'll see. Ernie Grunfeld needs to be on a hot seat anyway. He should have been on a hot seat 2 years ago or last year. But it is what it is. Some big things. Austin Rivers off the bench. I think we got a good backup point guard. I think we have a good backup in Jeff Green coming off the bench. He's super, super inconsistent. Don't know what you're going to get from him every night, but he can dunk on somebody and can provide some energy. Bradley Beal said he's like baby Braun. So, I mean... But and off the bench, we got Tomas. This is a huge year for Tomas. I think Tomas made a leap last year while John was injured. Let's see if Tomas can progress and produce and average at least 6 to 7 points a game off the bench, or even 5 assists or something like that. That would be awesome from Tomas. Trying to think who else. Brad is Brad. Brad should have another All-Star year if he's healthy. Knock on wood. John Wall, of course, All-Star year. This is his 7th All-Star this year coming up or something like that he's going to make. Otto Porter, we need a big year from you, man. We just gave you a max deal 2 summers ago, or last summer, whenever it was. We just need you to show up in the playoffs. Regular season, you're consistent. You give us your 14 points. You hit at least 3 threes a game. We just need you to step up and be a presence. We need you to step up and be more aggressive because we know we can get that out of you. If Otto was just super, super aggressive, then he probably averaged 20 points a game. Right now he's averaging 13, 14, 7 boards, which is good, which is really good. But the way we're paying him, we would like it to be an all-star, like a Bradley Beal or like a John Wall right now. Dwight Howard, right now he's already having health issues. He did practice with the team and he started, so he should play. But that's a huge question mark. Is he gonna mesh well with John? Like Gortat and John just did not get along whatsoever. So that just didn't work out. If Dwight can just catch some lobs, rebounds, screens, and maybe score once or twice on the post with his back to the basket, I'll be happy, man. If he can get 15 and 10 this year, which is easy for Dwight to do. Dwight always fills up the stat sheet. That's not a problem. Had 30 and 30 last year for the Hornets in one game. So that's going to be easy for him to get a double-double. That's like him just walking on the court. It's just the plus minus, the things how you impact the game. Is going to be able to play in the fourth quarter with the free throw shooting, the hack at Dwight. So that's going to, come back and haunt us in some games, the free throw shooting. Markieff Morris, this is a huge year for you. This is a big year for a lot of people, man. Because Markieff laid an egg last year. Let's be honest, man. He was bad in the Raptors series. He had the groin injury. He just never really got into a groove or any consistency. But at the same time, I don't want to give him 100% of a pass. So you just got to stop. You can't play like you did last year. You just can't do it. Kelly Oubre, super inconsistent. And we all love Kelly. Kelly's a fan favorite. He's athletic and jump out of the gym. He's tall as I don't know what. He can shoot a little bit. His three-point percentage was pretty bad last year. He just went into a shooting slump towards the end of the year. That's why a lot of people are like, man, we might have to just let Kelly walk if he's going to shoot the ball like that. But a lot of people, the eye test is like you don't want to let him walk because he brings so much energy. He plays with fire and passion. He gets a couple steals here and there, and he's only, how old is Kelly? He's like 21 years old. He just has so much potential, and it's a contract year already at the age of 21 for him, or 22, whatever it is. And he's might get paid the big bucks. I think he can be a six-man of the year potential candidate off the bench for us. If Kelly can average 12 points a game, which I think is doable for Kelly, 13, even 13, because I feel like he's worked on his game. He's been in the gym a lot, posting on Instagram, things like that. And, sometimes I hate when people post on Instagram all the time, working out and stuff like that, because it just doesn't show in the gym, kind of like the Redskins with Terrell Pryor. But this is different. I think Kelly has worked on his game, and I think it should show on the court this year. But unfortunately, if it doesn't, if the slump still happens, then we might just have to move on. And I'm really happy with Troy Brown. I'm really surprised about Troy Brown. I really did not think that he was going to be this good. And it is only summer league that he played in, but he looked really good. I mean, there's no way you can just be like, oh, man, just poo-poo or just turn your back on Troy Brown, man. Like, you got to recognize that and give the guy credit, man. There's a lot of guys who played in summer league and play like bust in the summer league. So give credit where credit is due to Troy Brown Jr. He's looking like a guy that might actually be able to come in and contribute off the bench, play some defense. And he can pass, man. He can pass the ball. He can dribble it. He can make plays. He's a playmaker. He's a basketball player, man. He can play. Like I'm liking this. He's 6'7". He might be the future. I mean, a lot of people, I think he's slept on heavily. I think he's heavily slept on. And I was one of the guys that hated the pick. And I'm gonna put my hand up and raise it and not deny that I hated the Troy Brown pick when it happened. I thought there were some other guys that we could have got or should have gotten instead of him. But he definitely surprised me in the summer league. He played out. He balled out. He played well in the preseason as well. He looked like he was very confident. And, our rookies have not been confident or really had a chance to play under Randy Whitman. Scott Brooks, he looks like he tries to play as rookies, and I think Troy Brown should definitely get an opportunity to play and contribute. And John is just always about health and just locking it. It's a mental thing. You watch the game sometimes, you'll see John and Brad play, and you can just tell sometimes they're just mentally not locked in. And defenders, of course, they're going to double team, triple team Brad like they did last year. Throw different defenders and things like that. But you just got to lock in, man. Like, what they do and the body language they show, it rubs off on their teammates. They just can't dribble, ISO ball, stuff like that. The body language and things like it just rubs off on their teammates. And it rubbed off last year. It was just a bad atmosphere. The locker room was awful. And I'm tired of reporters trying to say Brad and John hate each other because that's false. That's so false, man. These guys, they play with each other. They ride and they got each other's backs, man. I'm telling you, man. These guys, everybody, they hate each other. That's a lie. If you actually watch and pay attention to the Washington Wizards, you would know that they don't hate each other. That they actually, they got a handshake and all that, man. Like, they good friends. They don't hang out off the court because they're just two different personalities. John Wall, he likes to be in the club a lot. Brad's just not that kind of guy. He'll be in the club once in a while, but now he's got a kid. He's got a girl, Camilla. You know, it's just different, two different personalities, man. You know, and they all have different paths and things like that. So they don't have to be all up each other's, you know, around each other all the time just to be friends. Like, you know, some people can live their different life in a different way. But back to basketball, um, I'm gonna say the Wizards, you know, and this is a long video because I just feel so passionate about my Wizards. I'm hyped. I'm super, super excited, man. Like, I'm so hyped. I'm really up on this team. I think the ceiling for us, of course, is Eastern Conference Finals. Maybe we can fool around and beat the Celtics if the Celtics do not mesh well and get their chemistry together. Because they got a lot of people, man. They got a lot of people. They got a lot of Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kyrie, Gordon Hayward. They got a lot of guys at the same position with Gordon, Jalen, and Marcus Smart and what's his name? Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. All those guys are Gordon Hayward at the same position. So Brad Stevens, he has his handful, man. He has his handful. Now he has a lot of talent, but you got to make it match. You got to make it work. You know, and the Sixers, I just don't believe in Ben Simmons. I think he's an awesome player, but he can't shoot a 10-foot jumper. And in my eyes, I see Rajon Rondo. I mean, he's similar. He's tall as a mug and he's athletic. That's what makes him 10 times better than Rajon Rondo. But, you know, you can't shoot a jumper. Like, you had 1 point in, what, game 4 against the Celtics, game 3, whatever it was. You had 1 point, bro. You're supposed to be elite. You had 1 point in the playoff game. Come on, man. Do not. Nobody's gonna convince me that he's elite doing something like that. And that was his rookie or slash sophomore year or whatever. But come on, man. 1 point in a playoff game. John ain't never doing nothing like that. 1 point, 1 point. Come on, bro. Who else? Raptors. I'm not a believer. Kawhi's only there for 1 year. Kyle Lowry, you know, he misses DeMar, and Kyle Lowry never shows up in the playoffs anyway. So only teams we got to worry about, yeah, is the Celtics, possibly the Sixers, possibly the Raptors. And I won't sleep on the Bucks, and I will not sleep on the Pacers with Victor Oladipo. I will not sleep on that team. Sabonis, a lot of guys, Miles Turner. They got a lot of guys. The Pacers are heavily slept on. But the Wizards are getting slept on right now too. So let's get it, man. I think we're gonna win at least 50 games this year. If not, probably 49. I think we should be 50-32. That's what I'm thinking. We're gonna barely get 50. We're gonna end up like the 3rd seed. It's gonna be Wiz. It's gonna be Celtics, Sixers, Wiz. We'll probably play the Pacers in the first round. And then I guess we'll play the Sixers in the second round. We should be the Sixers and play the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's my prediction, guys. All right, y'all. Peace. Let's go, Wiz. Let's get it.